I don't know how else to say it, Ethan, Lena said while staring at her phone. You're never going to win in life. You don't have what it takes. My chest tightened, but I still asked, what do you mean by that? She sighed like my existence exhausted her. You're slow, soft, too emotional. You don't fight for anything. You just hope things work out, and they never do. So you're saying I'm weak? I'm saying you're the kind of man who survives, not succeeds. There's a difference. I felt my throat close. After everything I've done, this is what you think of me? Lena finally put her phone down. Ethan, I've carried you for years. You're lucky I stayed this long. Carried me? I whispered. I thought we were a team. We were never equals, she said. I just didn't want to say it out loud. I felt something inside me break. Why are you saying all this now? Because I'm tired, she said. Tired of waiting for you to grow up. I stared at her face, the same face I once trusted with all my heart. If you felt this way, why didn't you talk to me earlier? I did, she insisted. You just never listened. No, I said quietly. You never spoke. She rolled her eyes. Believe what you want. I stood up. I need air. Do what you want, she muttered. It won't change anything. I walked out of the apartment with shaking hands. I didn't even feel the cold air when I stepped into the hallway. All I heard was her voice repeating the same words. You'll never win, you're too weak, you're lucky I stayed. I leaned against the wall and whispered, why would she say that? What did I do wrong? Voices echoed from around the corner. I recognized them instantly. Ryan's laugh. Then Lena's. Did you hear his voice crack? Ryan said. He actually thinks he can change. Lena snorted. He still believes he's a good man. He's clueless. He worships you, Ryan said. That's the funniest part. I know, she replied. That's why it's easy. I froze, unable to breathe. Ryan chuckled. He'll never be more than average. You said it perfectly. I've been telling him for years, Lena said. He just refuses to accept reality. So what's the plan? Ryan asked. I don't know. Anything's better than staying stuck with him. Their laughter stabbed straight into my chest. I felt my knees weaken, but I refused to let myself fall. I backed away slowly, not wanting them to hear me. Inside my head, everything screamed, walk away. Don't let them see you break. I forced myself toward the stairs. My steps felt mechanical. I held the railing just to keep myself steady. Why them? I whispered. Why my own people? My voice cracked, and before I realized it, a tear dropped onto my hand. I heard a soft voice behind me. Rough night, Ethan? I turned and saw Mr. Ward, my neighbor from across the hall. He wasn't smiling, but his eyes were kind. I'm fine, I lied. You're shaking, he said gently. People only shake when something finally hits them too hard. I swallowed hard. It's nothing. He stepped closer. Some storms don't break you. They wash the wrong people out. I stared at him, not knowing how to respond. He continued, if someone tells you you'll never win, it usually means they're scared of what you'll become when you finally do. I don't feel strong, I whispered. You don't have to feel strong, he said. You just have to keep walking. His words settled inside me like a small flame, weak, but alive. I looked back at the hallway where Lena and Ryan were still talking. Then I looked forward. And walked. I reached the apartment door and heard whispering inside, Lena's voice, soft in a way she never used with me anymore. Then Ryan's laugh. I froze. My hand hovered over the handle as I heard Lena whisper, Stop, Ryan, someone might come. He murmured back, You like it. Don't pretend. My chest tightened. I pushed the door open. What the hell is this? I asked. They jumped apart, but their hands stayed too close, their faces even closer. Lena stepped toward me. Ethan, calm down. You're imagining things. I'm staring right at you, I said. Tell me what I imagined. Ryan lifted his hands. Dude, don't start drama. We were just talking. Talking? I pointed at them. That's not talking. Lena crossed her arms. You're overreacting again. You always do this. Because you're holding my best friend's hand, I snapped. Ryan scoffed. Man, seriously? I was comforting her. She said you've been stressing her out. My voice cracked. Comforting her? By whispering in her ear? Lena glared at me like I was the villain. You twist everything. You always twist everything. I'm not twisting anything, I said. I walked in on you too. You walked in on a moment you misunderstood, she said sharply. That's your problem. You see weakness everywhere. Ryan nodded. You should trust her more. I stared at both of them, my hands shaking. I trusted both of you. That's the problem. Lena sighed loudly. Here we go again. Ethan, your jealousy is exhausting. I'm not jealous, I said. I'm betrayed. Ryan stepped closer. Watch your words, man. I laughed, but it came out broken. Why? Do they hit too close? Lena rolled her eyes. You're acting crazy. I'm acting hurt, I said. There's a difference. She said, whatever you think you saw, you didn't. And whatever you're trying to hide, I said, you're bad at it. Ryan grabbed his coat. I'm leaving. I don't have time for his drama. Lena followed him to the door, whispering something I wasn't meant to hear. But I heard it anyway. He'll never leave. He's too weak. Ryan snorted. He still thinks this place is his. Look at it, tiny, cheap, sad. He thinks it's enough, Lena whispered. They laughed. Their laughter sliced deeper than anything in chapter 1 ever did. I stepped back slowly, unable to breathe. So that's what you really think of me? Lena froze. Ethan. No, I said. Don't explain. Ryan shrugged. Dude, don't make this bigger than it is. It's already big enough, I said. Trust me. I walked past them, pushing the door open. Lena called my name, but I didn't look back. When I stepped outside, the cold slapped me hard. I leaned against the wall, trying not to fall apart. But tears slipped out anyway. Mr. Ward's door opened quietly. Ethan, he asked. I wiped my face. I'm fine. You're not, he said softly. But you will be. I saw something I can't unsee, I whispered. And they made me feel crazy for it. He nodded slowly. Some storms are meant to wash people out of your life. I swallowed, my voice shaking. It hurts. I know, he said. But storms don't last forever. People do. His words settled inside me, heavy but steady. I looked down the hallway where the door to my old life still stood open. Then I walked away from it. Ethan, are you even listening? Mark snapped. I blinked at the screen in front of me. Yeah. I'm here. You've made 3 mistakes in one morning, he said. You never make mistakes like this. I'll fix them, I muttered. Mark exhaled sharply. I don't want promises. I want you present. What's going on? Nothing, I said immediately. I'm fine. You don't look fine, he said, leaning closer. You look like you haven't slept in days. I forced a smile. I'm okay. I just need coffee. Coffee won't fix whatever this is, he said. Sort yourself out, Ethan. I will, I whispered, though I knew I wouldn't. When he walked away, I dropped my head into my hands. My chest felt tight again, like someone was pressing down on it. Lena's voice echoed in my mind. You're never going to win, you're weak, you twist everything. Then Ryan's laugh. Dude, it's just drama, he'll never leave, tiny, cheap, sad. I squeezed my eyes shut. Stop, I whispered. Just stop. But the voices kept repeating, over and over like a broken tape. Ethan? Mia's soft voice came from behind me. I straightened instantly. Hey. What's up? You tell me, she said, pulling a chair beside me. You're pale. And you're shaking again. I'm fine, I repeated. She frowned. You always say that when you're not. I just need space, I said. You've been asking for space for a week, she replied. You barely talk. You barely eat. Did something happen? No. She looked at me longer than I could handle. You don't have to tell me everything. But don't lie to me. I'm not lying, I said too quickly. She sighed. Okay. But please don't shut everyone out. Everyone's better off without my problems, I said quietly. That's not true, she insisted. It is, I said. Just, let it go. Mia stood slowly. If you ever need someone to sit with, I'm right here. Thanks, I said, though I didn't mean it. I didn't want anyone near the version of me that was falling apart. When she left, I stared at my reflection in the dark computer monitor. My eyes looked hollow. My cheeks were pale. I didn't even recognize myself. At night, things got worse. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, whispering to myself, why wasn't I enough? What did I miss? How long were they laughing behind my back? I turned to my side, clutching the pillow. My chest tightened again. Why does it hurt so much? I whispered. The silence swallowed my words. Sleep never came. Morning did. By the fourth day, I couldn't pretend anymore. My hands shook at work. My heart raced for no reason. My thoughts scattered like broken glass. I whispered to myself, I can't keep doing this. Mark pulled me aside again. Ethan, if something's wrong, talk to me. I wish I could, I said. I just can't. He stared at me for a long moment. Then figure out what you need. Before it's too late. His words hit me harder than he knew. That night, walking home with trembling legs, I finally admitted the truth to myself. If I don't change, I whispered, I'm going to break. I didn't expect the evening to burn itself into my memory, but the moment Lena raised her voice, I felt every pair of eyes in the room turn toward me. She held a glass of wine like it was proof of her superiority. Honestly, she said, loud enough for the entire team to hear, I don't know how you still function at this job. You lack ambition, you lack direction, Ryan is everything you're not. My throat tightened. Lena, can we not do this here? Oh, why not? She laughed sharply. Maybe you'll finally learn something. A few people looked away, pretending not to listen. Others watched openly, leaning in as if my humiliation were tonight's entertainment. My chest felt like a furnace, every breath scraping against the heat building inside. I work hard, I muttered. You exist, she shot back. Ryan builds. Ryan leads. Ryan actually has a future. Mark, standing beside the snack table, frowned. Lena, that's enough. She rolled her eyes. Please. Someone has to say it. She walked away before I could respond, leaving a silence so deep I wanted to crawl inside it and disappear. I felt the humiliation twisting inside me, sharp and electric. I walked toward the balcony, needing air, needing space. The city lights blurred for a moment as I tried to blink the sting away. Mark followed me out. Hey, he said quietly, you okay? No, I said. And I'm tired of pretending I am. He didn't speak, so the words spilled out. I'm drowning, Mark. Every day I tell myself I'm fine, but I'm not. I keep trying to fix things with her, but nothing works. She treats me like I'm disposable. And I keep letting her. Mark exhaled slowly. You should have told me sooner. I didn't want to dump my mess on you. It's not dumping, he replied. It's calling a friend. I let my eyes fall to the ground. She says I have no ambition. Maybe she's right. Do you really believe that? I don't know, I said. I just know I'm tired. I'm tired of proving myself to someone who doesn't even see me. Mark leaned against the railing. Then stop proving yourself to her. I looked at him. And do what instead? Choose who you want to become, he said. Not for her. Not for anyone watching. For you. His words hit something inside me, something I'd buried under months of excuses and fear. You think I can do that? I whispered. I know you can, he said. But you need to walk away from the thing that's breaking you. I closed my eyes. I could still hear Lena's voice echoing in the back of my mind, sharp, dismissive, cutting. But for the first time, it didn't feel like a truth. It felt like a chain. And it finally snapped. I straightened my shoulders. I'm done, Mark. With her. With who I was 5 minutes ago. He gave a small nod. Good. Then let's leave. I stepped back into the room only long enough to grab my jacket. People stared, waiting to see if I'd crumble again. Instead, I walked past them without a word. As I pushed open the exit door, the cold air hit my face like a rebirth. I wasn't the same man who walked in tonight. And I swore I'd never be him again. The morning after the team event, I stared at my phone for a long moment before finally saying out loud, I'm done. Then I deleted Lena's number. Ryan's too. I blocked them both, every platform, every access point. No explanations, no warnings, just silence. Mia called moments later. You okay? I will be, I said. But I'm cutting them out. Good, she replied. You deserve better. I wanted to believe that. I really did. Later that afternoon, I heard a voice behind me. You look like hell. I turned and blinked. Caleb. He grinned. Heard you needed someone who won't sugarcoat anything. What did you hear? That you finally snapped, he said. So, want to rebuild or want to drown? Rebuild, I muttered. Even if I don't know where to start. Perfect, he said. I'm good at turning disasters into something useful. He dragged me to a small workspace he'd set up inside his garage. Whiteboards, books, tools, monitors, everything organized with military precision. Sit, he ordered. I sat a day. First, he said, what do you want? To not feel weak. Define weak. I hesitated. Letting people walk over me. Letting Lena decide my worth. Caleb pointed at me. Then stop giving anyone the power to do that. You want strength? Earn it. How? He tossed me a notebook. Skills. Discipline. Strategy. We start now. For weeks, we trained. Early mornings, late nights. Hours spent learning new software, improving my technical work, sharpening my communication, running through simulated scenarios Caleb created just to see if I'd break. Every time I struggled, he pushed harder. You quitting? He'd ask. No. Good. Because the old you would have stopped here. Then there were days when silence settled between us, and he'd glance over and say, you're getting colder. I'm trying. Good. Cold keeps you sharp. Mia checked on me often. You're working non-stop, she said. I have to, I replied. You don't have to freeze your heart to get better. I'm not freezing it, I said. I'm protecting it. She didn't argue. She never pressured, never judged. She just listened, and somehow, that mattered more than anything. At night, I confronted myself in the mirror. My voice changed, my posture shifted, my eyes hardened. I could feel it. The softness I'd carried for Lena was gone, burned away by humiliation and replaced with something darker, cleaner, clearer. Caleb noticed it too. You're different, he said one evening as we finished a training drill. What kind of different? The kind people don't see coming. I smirked. Good. You planning something? No plans, I said. Just preparation. He nodded. If they wanted a monster, you're on the right track. I exhaled slowly, letting the truth settle inside me. She broke me, I said. But she won't recognize what she created. Caleb folded his arms. Then finish becoming the version of yourself she never thought you could be. I will, I said. That night, as I shut off the lights, I whispered the vow I'd been shaping for weeks. The next time Lena sees me, she won't know the man standing in front of her. When I walked into the office that Monday, something felt different, quieter, sharper. My steps were steady, my breathing controlled. Mark glanced up from his desk and said, "You're early." "I've been working on the projections," I replied. "I want you to look over something." He raised an eyebrow. "Show me." I placed the file in front of him. He flipped through page after page, his eyes narrowing, not in disapproval but in focus. When he finally looked up, he asked, "You did all this?" "Yes," I said. "Every data point." "This is impressive," he muttered. "You're ahead of everyone." I didn't smile. "I intend to stay ahead." He leaned back. "Then I'll need your help on a bigger project." "What project?" "The restructuring plan," he said. "I want you to lead one section." "Me? You've earned it." Those words hit harder than they should have. "I won't let you down." "You won't," he said. "I can tell." As I left his office, Mia intercepted me. "What did he say?" "He's giving me more responsibility." She grinned. "Finally." "It feels surreal," I admitted. "You worked for it," she said. "Don't downplay that." I didn't. Not anymore. 2 days later, during a team briefing, Mark looked directly at me. "I want you all to follow his lead. His analysis is the strongest." Ryan shifted in his seat. "His?" he muttered. Mark didn't even look at him. "Yes. His." Ryan turned to me. "Congratulations," he said through a tight jaw. "Thanks," I replied calmly. Lena sat across the table. She glanced up, confused, almost unsettled. When our eyes met, she quickly looked away. I felt nothing, no anger, no longing, no ache. Just distance. After the meeting, Ryan cornered me in the hallway. "So that's it? You're suddenly the star?" "It's not sudden," I said. "You just didn't notice the work." He scoffed. "Don't get cocky." "I'm not," I said. "I'm busy." He stared at me, jaw tense. You're different. I know. He walked off without another word. Later that afternoon, Lena approached me slowly. Hey, can we talk? No, I said, keeping my voice quiet, controlled. There's nothing to talk about. She blinked. You're angry. Not anymore. Her brow furrowed. Then why are you acting like a stranger? Because I am one, I said. To you. She opened her mouth again but couldn't form a sentence. I walked away before she could recover. At lunch, Caleb called. How's the battlefield? I'm winning, I said. Good, he replied. Anything from the ghosts of your past? They're watching. He chuckled. Confusion is the first stage of karma. I leaned back in my chair. Feels strange. I'm not doing any of this for them. That, he said, is why it's working. You think this is enough? Revenge doesn't need shouting, he said. It needs patience. I nodded even though he couldn't see me. I'm not done. Good. Because the rise they didn't see coming is the one they fear the most. By the end of the week, people who once walked past me without a glance were suddenly nodding, greeting, respecting. Mark trusted me with decisions he used to hoard. Co-workers asked for help. Meetings shifted around my availability. Mia approached me one evening. You know people are talking, right? About what? Your promotion. Your work. The change in you. I don't care, I said. I think you do, she said softly. But in a good way. I considered that. Maybe. As I packed my bag, I caught my reflection in the glass wall, shoulders straight, expression calm, movements precise. I looked like someone who had finally taken control. Walking out of the building, I whispered, this time, I rise for me. And for the first time, the words felt true. I first noticed it during Monday's briefing. Ryan kept fumbling through his presentation, mixing numbers, skipping slides, sweating like the room was on fire. Mark pinched the bridge of his nose and said, Ryan, what's going on? I just misplaced the updated file, Ryan muttered. Mark sighed. You misplaced it 3 times this week. I glanced down, keeping my expression neutral. Ryan shot me a glare anyway, like my existence caused his mistakes. After the meeting, I headed toward my desk when I heard Lena's voice behind the wall. Why can't you get anything right? She snapped. Ryan hissed back, maybe if you stopped nagging. I'm not nagging. I'm tired, she said. You promised things would be better. He scoffed. I'm doing my best. Your best is ruining everything, she said. The silence after that sentence felt louder than the argument. I walked away before they noticed me. Later, in the break room, Olivia poured herself coffee and whispered, she's not happy, you know. I stayed still. Who? Lena, she said. She regrets everything. I kept my voice flat. That's none of my business. Olivia glanced at the doorway like she was afraid Lena might appear. She said she thought you'd still be miserable. That you'd fail after she left. But you didn't. And she hates that she misjudged you. I breathed out slowly. Why are you telling me this? Because she'll never admit it herself, Olivia said. Her pride won't let her. Then let her keep it, I replied. I've moved on. Olivia nodded. I figured you'd say that. When I stepped out, Mia approached me immediately. We need to talk. About what? Ryan, she said, lowering her voice. His spreading lies again. I raised an eyebrow. What kind this time? That you cheated your way into Mark's trust, she said. That you're manipulating people. I almost laughed. Let him talk. You're not bothered. No, I said. His world is shaking. Words are all he has left. Mia studied my face. You've changed. I had to. Well, she said, just know I'm on your side. I know. When I returned to my desk, Ryan stormed past me, muttering, fake golden boy. I didn't look at him. You should save your energy, I said. You'll need it. For what? He snapped. Keeping up, I replied. He froze for a second, jaw clenched, then walked off. That afternoon, Mark called us into another meeting. His tone was sharp. Ryan, your numbers are inconsistent again. Ryan stammered, I was sick. You were sick yesterday, Mark said. What's your excuse today? Ryan looked around desperately, as if waiting for Lena to defend him, but she stared at the table instead. Mark shook his head. We can't afford this. Get it together. When the meeting ended, Lena approached me quietly. Can we talk? No, I said without hesitation. Her eyes tightened. You don't even want to hear what I have to say? No, I repeated. Not anymore. She swallowed hard but didn't argue. As she walked away, I watched their perfect world, once built on arrogance, cracking piece by piece. I didn't lift a finger. I didn't need to. Some storms don't require thunder. Just timed that I was heading out of the office when I heard someone call my name softly. Ethan? I turned. Grace Miller, Ryan's sister, stood a few steps behind me, fidgeting with her scarf. What's up? I asked cautiously. She hesitated. I need to tell you something. Privately. I nodded, and we walked toward the empty parking lot. What is it? I asked, trying to read her expression. Grace exhaled sharply. Ryan, he never loved Lena. Not really. He never cared about her. It was always about you. I froze. Me? Yes, she said. He's been jealous of you for years. Every promotion, every compliment, every chance you had to shine, it ate him alive. All he wanted was to beat you in everything, to make you feel small like he did. I let the words sink in. My chest tightened, then heated up with anger. You're telling me, all this time, he was pretending? She nodded. Pretending to be your friend, pretending to care about his job, pretending to love Lena. It was all a game to him, Ethan. All of it. I gritted my teeth. So every time he tried to bring me down, it wasn't even about Lena. It was about him? Exactly, Grace said softly. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I should have known, I muttered, anger twisting with disbelief. All those looks, the sneers, the way he acted like he was better than me. Grace hesitated. It's not your fault. He's been carrying envy like a disease. He wanted you to fail, and he wanted to enjoy it when he thought he succeeded. I clenched my fists. I can't believe how long he's hidden it. Grace put a hand on my arm. Ethan, I wanted to tell you sooner. I didn't want to get in his way, but you deserve to know the truth. I exhaled slowly. Thank you, for finally telling me. Later, as I returned to my desk, Olivia leaned close. You heard? Heard what? I asked. Lena, she said quietly. She's been crying for days. Realizing she made a mistake. That she chose the wrong person. I felt a flicker of, nothing. Relief? Maybe. But certainly no anger toward her. You going to go to her? Olivia asked. I shook my head. No. I don't forgive her. I don't think about forgiving her. That part of my life, it's over. She nodded slowly. She regrets it. And Ryan? I smirked lightly. Let karma do its work. I don't need to touch it. The city lights outside my window blurred as I stared at the street below. The anger that had simmered for months felt like ice melting into fire. Shock, betrayal, resentment, it all shifted into something clean, sharp, precise. I whispered to myself, so that's the truth. And it changes nothing. Nothing at all. Mia passed by my desk. You okay? I am now, I said. More than ever. She gave a small smile. Good. As I walked toward the exit, the cool night air hit me. It felt like the first breath I'd taken in months. I wasn't just walking away from Lena. I was walking away from the past, from anger, from anyone who tried to make me small. And for the first time, I felt untouchable. I whispered to myself, let them see. Let them watch. I'm not the same man who let them break me. Step by step, I left the building, and everything they thought they controlled, behind. I was leaving the office when I heard her voice, soft, trembling, impossibly familiar. Ethan, wait. I stopped. Lena stood there, her eyes red, makeup smudged. She ran a hand through her hair, biting her lip. I need to talk to you, she said, voice cracking. I didn't move. Then talk. I'm sorry, she whispered. For everything. For the lies, the betrayal, for leaving you behind. I want you back. I studied her face, memorized it for the last time. You think saying sorry changes anything? Her hands shook. I know I was wrong. Ryan, he only used me. I didn't see it until now. You didn't see it? I interrupted, keeping my voice steady. Do you know how many nights I cried because you made me feel invisible? Do you know how much I trusted you, and you? I know, she said, tears streaming. I know, Ethan. And I can't take it back. But I want to. I miss you. I miss the old you. The man I loved. I inhaled slowly, letting the cold air fill my lungs. The old me died the day you broke him. That man, he was weak, desperate, blind. I'm not him anymore. You've changed, she said softly, taking a small step closer. I see it now. I see how much stronger you've become. I didn't flinch, didn't look away. You think your realization matters? That your regret gives you power to undo what you did? It doesn't. She lowered her eyes, shaking. Please? I made a mistake. You made plenty, I said, voice calm but firm. Every word you said to hurt me, every time you chose him over me, every lie, I remember. And I don't forgive you. Not now. Not ever. Her hands clenched into fists. Ethan, I can't lose you. Not like this. You already lost me, I said. You lost me the moment you stopped caring. Her knees hit the pavement. I stopped for a second, staring down at her. She looked up, eyes pleading, trembling lips, every ounce of pride gone. Please, she begged. I'll do anything. Just, take me back. I felt nothing. No sorrow. No longing. Just the sharp satisfaction of knowing I had finally grown beyond the person she destroyed. I'm not the man you knew, I said, stepping around her. And I'm not going back to him. Ethan, she whispered, voice breaking completely. I love you. I always have. Then remember this, I said quietly. Love doesn't erase betrayal. Regret doesn't rebuild trust. And begging won't bring me back. I kept walking, the sound of her sobs fading behind me. The cold wind hit my face, but I didn't care. I didn't look back. I felt the difference between who I was, the boy who would have fallen to his knees, and who I had become. The man she once broke? He was gone. The man walking away now. He was unshakable, untouchable, unstoppable. Her cries lingered in the air for a moment, but I didn't hear them. My path was forward, my world rebuilt. And I didn't stop. The moment came sooner than I expected. We were in the conference room when Mark slammed the folder down. Ryan, he said, voice tight. Explain these discrepancies. Ryan blinked, then smirked. Discrepancies? You forged numbers, altered reports, and spread lies about Ethan, Mark cut in, eyes flashing. Do you have any explanation? I was just trying to, Ryan stammered. Trying to what? Mark asked. Bring down your colleague? Humiliate him? Make yourself look better? I didn't. Lena, Ryan's eyes darted toward her. Mark snapped. Stop blaming everyone else. The evidence is here. You lied. You manipulated. You tried to ruin someone who outworked you. I stood silently, arms folded, watching him shift nervously. The arrogance that once made him untouchable was gone, replaced by desperation. It's not my fault. Ryan shouted. Ethan, he made me look bad. I was just trying to. Trying to? Mark's voice cut through the room like a blade. You were trying to destroy him. And now your reputation, your credibility, everything you built? Crumbling in front of everyone. Ryan's jaw tightened. This isn't fair. He what? Mark asked. Worked harder than you? Stayed focused while you wasted your time sabotaging him? That's not my problem, Ryan. Ryan turned toward the team. You all know him. He. Enough. Mark barked. No one listens to your excuses anymore. You will be suspended immediately, pending further review. The room went silent. Ryan's eyes darted between faces, panic creeping in. He looked at Lena, but she avoided his gaze. He turned to me. You're happy, aren't you? He hissed. I said nothing. I didn't need to. The quiet satisfaction inside me was louder than anything I could speak. Karma doesn't need words. Justice doesn't need applause. Grace stepped beside me. She smiled faintly, almost imperceptibly. Finally, she whispered. I nodded. Finally. Ryan's face went pale as people whispered among themselves, shaking heads, exchanged glances of disbelief. No one defended him. No one made excuses. The walls he thought protected him were gone. He opened his mouth again, flailing. It wasn't me. It was you, Mark said sharply. Every single lie, every act of sabotage, every attempt to ruin Ethan, you did it. And now you face the consequences. Ryan slumped into the chair, breathing hard, sweat forming on his brow. His pride, his charm, his so-called power, it all melted away in front of everyone who had once laughed at me behind my back. I felt a calm, cold satisfaction wash over me. This wasn't revenge shouted from rooftops. It was quiet, inevitable, perfect. Grace glanced at me again, her eyes gleaming. You see, she said softly. I do, I replied. Sometimes the world fixes itself when you stop interfering. Ryan sat there, stunned, humiliated, suspended. His empire of lies, dismantled. And I finally felt the weight lift completely. The man who tried to break me? Broken instead. And I walked out of the room, untouched, unshaken, free. The morning sunlight hit my apartment differently now, clear, sharp, unshakable. I took a deep breath, feeling it in my chest, in my back, in every movement. Today was mine. I arrived at the office, head high. Mark waved me over immediately. Ethan, come here. I have something for you. I approached cautiously. What is it? He handed me a folder. I'm offering you a leadership position on the new project. You've earned it. I looked at him, surprised. Thank you. I won't disappoint you. You won't, he said, nodding firmly. I've watched you rise. The team listens to you now, respects your words. I trust you to lead them. I swallowed the lump in my throat. I appreciate that. Truly. As I walked to my desk, co-workers stopped me, shaking my hand, nodding in approval. I had been invisible once, ignored, belittled. Now, every greeting, every glance carried respect. Mia appeared beside me. Look at you, she said softly. You've done it. I've done what I should have done a long time ago, I said. I'm finally taking back control. She smiled. You've earned every bit of it. And you're not alone, Caleb and we've got your back. I glanced at Caleb leaning casually against the doorway. Couldn't have done it without you both. You could have, Caleb said with a grin. But I like being useful. I laughed lightly, feeling the first genuine relief in months. Fair enough. Then Lena appeared, hesitating near the entrance. Her eyes widened when they met mine. Ethan, she said softly. Can we talk? I shook my head slowly, calm, unmoved. Lena, listen. You taught me how to break. How to feel small, worthless, lost. But you also taught me something I didn't know, how to rebuild. Stronger, sharper, untouchable. Tears welled in her eyes. I never realized. Realization comes too late, I said firmly. I'm not the man I was when you walked away. That man is gone. What you see now. This is me, whole, powerful, unbroken. She shook her head, sobbing. I was wrong. You were, I said quietly. And I won't stay to fix your mistakes. My life, my pride, my future, they belong to me now. Her knees threatened to buckle, but I didn't pause. I turned, walking past her, every step deliberate, confident. I could feel her gaze burning into my back, but I didn't look back. Caleb fell in step beside me. She'll learn, he said. She'll learn, I repeated. Not because I cared what she learned, but because I knew her absence no longer mattered. Mia joined us as we exited the building. Ready for the next chapter? I nodded, smiling faintly. More than ever. I'm done being small. Done being invisible. Done letting others decide my worth. Caleb laughed. Finally, the real Ethan appears. Not finally, I said. I'm here now. And this time, nothing can take it away. The city spread out before us, lights shimmering, people moving, life continuing. I felt every breath as if it belonged only to me. My past, my betrayals, my heartbreak, they were lessons, not chains. I've taken back what was mine, I whispered to myself. My pride, my confidence, my future. All of it. And for the first time in years, I felt untouchable, unstoppable, free. Nothing could break me again. That I walked through the old park first, the place where I once sat alone after Lena left me. The bench where I'd cried still stood under the same fading tree. But this time, there was no heaviness in my chest, no anger scratching at my ribs. Just quiet. Just calm. I exhaled slowly. Funny how this place used to hurt, I murmured. A voice came from behind me. Pain fades when you outgrow the people who caused it. I turned. Felix, My quiet neighbor who rarely said more than a few words, stood with his hands in his pockets. Felix. I blinked. Didn't expect to see you here. He shrugged lightly. I walk here often. Saw you sitting, figured you could use company. Then he added, didn't think you'd collapse forever. I knew you'd rise again. I let out a small laugh. You knew? I didn't. You were broken, he said plainly. But not the kind that stays broken. Some people rebuild themselves without announcing it. I guess that's what I'm doing now, I said. Rebuilding. Quietly. Felix sat beside me. How do you feel? I looked at the trees, the sky, the path. Everything felt strangely gentle. Peaceful. For the first time in a long time. He nodded approvingly. Then you're doing it right. I stood up again, ready to continue the walk. I'm visiting all the places where I used to fall apart, I said. Just to see how they feel now. Go on, Felix said. You'll finish lighter than you started. I left the park and walked to the cafe where I once waited for Lena, hoping she'd come back even though she never did. The old window was still cracked, the same smell of roasted beans drifting out. I stepped inside, looked around, and smiled. The memories didn't sting anymore. Next was the street corner where I'd confronted Ryan once, trembling with humiliation. I stood there now, hand steady, heart steady. Not my weight to carry anymore, I whispered. My final stop was the bridge, the one place where I'd cried the hardest, gripping the rail as if it could keep me from drowning inside myself. I walked to the center, leaned forward, and closed my eyes. No shaking. No knots. Just air. Just silence. Felix appeared again, almost as if he'd known I would come here last. Big moment? He asked. Yeah, I said softly. It is. What are you thinking? I took a deep breath. That I forgive them. Felix raised a brow. Them? Or yourself? Both, I admitted. But mostly myself. I've carried anger for too long. I'm letting it go, not for them, not to fix anything, but for me. Felix nodded. Then you're finally free. The wind brushed past us, cool and calm. I straightened my shoulders. I'm moving forward, I said. No more looking back. Felix smiled faintly. Good. That's where you belong. I walked away from the bridge, leaving every last broken piece behind. And for the first time, silence didn't hurt, it healed. I stepped out of the building, sunlight hitting my face, breathing in the crisp air. Mia fell into step beside me. Feels good, doesn't it? She asked softly. It does, I said, shoulders straight, head high. Feels like I can finally breathe. We walked down the steps, past people who once ignored me, past the echoes of whispers that used to make me small. Now, they glanced at me with respect, some even with awe. It felt different. Clean. I caught movement from the corner of my eye. Lena. She was standing by the glass doors across the street, hands clenching the strap of her bag, lips trembling. She didn't step forward, didn't call my name. She couldn't. She was frozen, watching, realizing. She's seeing it now, Mia said quietly. All of it. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The sight of her, finally understanding what she had lost, was confirmation enough. She regrets it, Mia whispered. I know, I said calmly. And it doesn't matter. Lena's eyes followed me, but I walked past her like she was a shadow from another life. The man she knew, the one who would have begged, the one who would have fallen apart, was gone. Replaced by someone steady, strong, unshakable. I felt a strange weight lift with every step. The years of doubt, anger, heartbreak, they were behind me now. I glanced at Mia. You know, I used to think winning meant beating them. Beating Lena, beating Ryan. Mia shook her head. But it never felt like it, did it? No, I admitted. Because I was still broken. Still letting them define me. Now winning means I define myself. We passed a group of co-workers who greeted me warmly. I smiled and nodded. Their words didn't inflate my ego, they reinforced my own sense of worth. I'd earned it, not by fighting anyone, but by reclaiming myself. Mia smiled. Look at you. You're glowing. I laughed softly. Maybe. Or maybe I'm finally just free. Free from all the expectations, the lies, the betrayals. Free from letting anyone else decide who I am. She fell silent, letting me walk a few steps ahead. I inhaled deeply, feeling the city buzz around me. Every sound, every movement felt sharper, clearer, more alive. And in that moment, I realized, revenge was never the goal. Power, respect, validation, they were never the real prize. The prize was me, whole, untouchable, rebuilt from every scar they thought would define me. I felt Lena's eyes on me one last time, a mixture of heartbreak and disbelief. She finally understood. Too late. I stopped, looking forward, letting the street stretch out before me. I didn't need revenge, I whispered to myself. I just needed to become someone they could never break again. And with that, I stepped into the light, leaving everything broken behind. The past didn't matter. The future was mine. And for the first time in a long time, I felt completely, undeniably free.